Hello, my friends. As many of you may know, this channel is all about food, fun, and finance. Food feeds your stomach. What's as important to know is that finance feeds your brain, and that knowledge will put more money into your back pockets. Have you heard of the term RSU? Do you know what it is and how it works? Well, in today's video, Ling will go over that with you. There are certain key roles where companies will pay an employee RSU in addition to base salary and bonus. This type of benefit is popular with technology companies. She's going to go over what is an RSU, what are the tax implications when you sell these stocks. She also answers the question, should you hold on to it or should you sell? If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications, hit the like button, and add a comment below. We greatly appreciate it. Let's go!
Let's first cover some basics of RSU. RSU stands for Restricted Stock Units. They're often used in technology companies or as an incentive to retain the company's executive leadership role or their key people. It's a form of compensation very similar to the salary or bonus or wages that you receive. The only difference is they have some restrictions. As the name suggests, the restrictions means that you need to satisfy certain conditions before the stocks are awarded to you. They're also subject to ordinary income tax, very similar to salary or wages on the vesting day. We'll be talking a little more about what that means. To help you understand the concept of RSU, I have an example for you. Let's say a company has granted Ling 135 shares of the company's RSU on June 15, 2021. The company policy states the 135 shares of the RSU will not be distributed all at once to Ling. In order for Ling to receive it, she has to stay with the company for the next 3 years, and each year she would receive a third of the 135 shares. If we divide 135 shares by 3, that would mean Ling would receive 45 shares of the RSU on June 15, 2022, then the second 45 shares on June 15, 2023, and finally 45 shares on June 15, 2024. Now, every company has its own policy. Not all company follows this schedule. And this is just an example. One key terminology to understand is vesting. In this example, on June 15, 2021, when company has granted Ling 135 shares of the RSU, she didn't really have any rights or ownership to these stock units. It just simply means that she's eligible to receive them if she's able to satisfy all of the conditions. As you can also see, on June 15, 2021, the market price of the company's stock is not relevant to anything we're doing. Not until the vesting day, June 15, 2022, the stock price will be very important to calculate the withholding tax as well as the base for purchasing the stock to calculate the capital gain if down the road the stocks were sold. So going back to the same example, after 1 year of the stocks have been granted to Ling, on June 15, 2022, since she has satisfied the first condition, which is to stay with the company for another year, then the first 45 shares of the stock has been distributed to Ling, and we call that vesting stocks. What this also means is Ling has every right and ownership to do whatever she wants with these 45 shares of the vesting stock. If she decides to sell them, she has a right to do so. Let's break down the tax treatment for RSU next. Take a look at the example in the graph. On the vesting day, June 15, 2022, let's say the company stock is $100 per share. Then based on Ling's withholding tax estimate, the company would then sell 5 shares of the company stock to withhold the $500. and then the $500 would be deducted from the total award of the $4,500 because 45 shares translates to $4,500. And that gives us a net of $4,000. At the end of this process, what you truly received is the net 40 shares of the company stock that's vested. This process will repeat in 2023 and 2024 if Ling stays with the company. And for each of the subsequent years, she will receive another net 40 shares of the company stock for each of the year.
I have a question, Ling. So what if an employee doesn't want to hold on to the stock and they want to sell? Can they do that? Also, what are the tax implications?
That's a great question. Once the stock has vested, you have every right to keep or sell the stocks. Now, there are different tax treatments. I have two examples for you. The first example is if you decide to sell the entire 40 shares of the company stock on October 30th, 2022. The gain of the $25 per share would be considered as short-term capital gain tax. Here's the reason why. On June 15th, 2022, when the company awarded you the 40 shares of the stock, that counts as a purchase date of the 40 shares. Since you have not owned those stocks for more than a year, then any gains from the sale of the stock would then be taxed as short-term capital gain tax. And remember, the short-term capital gain tax is based on your ordinary income rates. And whatever your income level and your tax bracket is, that's exactly how much you would be paying. The second example is if you decide to sell the 40 shares of the company stock on July 1st, 2023. Since now you have owned the stocks for more than a year, that's from June 15th, 2022 to July 1st, 2023, then any gains from the sale of the stock would be taxed as long-term capital gain tax. And therefore, the $90 per share gain would be taxed at either 0%, 15%, or 20%. To help you think through whether you should keep or sell your company stocks, another way to think about this is to ask yourself the question, if you were to purchase the company stock with your own money, would you want to keep the number of shares that's awarded to you through RSU? If the answer is yes, then you should keep them. If the answer is no, then you should think about whether you should sell a portion of those stocks or sell them all.
All right, thank you, Ling, for sharing your knowledge on restricted stock units. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and share with anyone who may also benefit from this knowledge.